Welcome to Battle Wounds Podcast, and I'm your host, Amos St. John.
And it's your boy Tank.
What's up, y'all? We welcome you back to the pod. We are back. We're back. Like we never left, man.
Yes, sir. You know, sometimes you got to take that little rest so you can come back your best.
Yes, sir. Listen, take a moment. If you have not subscribed, subscribe right now.
Make sure you follow. Make sure you listen on Spotify, Apple Music, and on YouTube or anywhere you get your podcast needs.
Listen, we here, we live, and we are in effect. That's so old right there. I just dated myself. In effect.
Yeah. Hey, look. Just
live in effect.
Well, just be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's like EPMD days, man.
Yeah.
Live and in effect. And so I'm sorry, y'all. I'm dating myself. I'm sorry. I've just been in this. Listen, I've been on this hip hop tip lately, or like the '90s hip hop. I grew up in the '80s and '90s hip hop because Common and Pete Rock did an album.
Okay. And
Pete Rock is one of my favorite producers, beat makers in the 90s and 2000s. And so hearing their work kind of brought me back to the hip hop, New York hip hop days. You know what I'm saying? Like the samples, the jazz samples over dope beats. Anyways, I just went off a soapbox. So yeah, me coming back and saying in effect just brought me back to my teenage years. Sorry, y'all.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Got to look back sometimes to look forward, right?
Like what era you came up in hip hop?
90s. Well, here's the thing. My folks had me listen to 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all just different types of music and different genres, but mostly 80s, 90s, early 2000s.
All right, y'all, I'm going to give y'all a secret about Tank. He won't tell y'all, but Tank could actually sing, y'all.
Look, don't tell people that.
Listen,
don't tell people that.
All right, Battle Wounds have a music side, so we got the music coming. Battle Wounds got the music side, so don't listen. He's all about that fitness and bodyguard and security, but this dude is actually can croon, man. He's a crooner, the dude can croon.
Look, you're trying to add another job that makes me look
ladies,
terrible, right? Look, man,
watch him. You gotta watch him. Anyways, so you kind of gave it away when he said your parents had you listening to That's you can't help but croon when you listen when you come up in that kind of era of music.
I get it. You know, like Al Green,
Woo.
Man. Look, the Shy Lights, the Spinners.
Listen, you see, you that's real music there. Now you got
Marvin Gaye. Oh wait, Teddy P. yeah, sir. Tell them to turn out the lights.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. Music. I like how things are I would say cyclical, like it comes in full circle again, and I see the old music is coming back, and it's kind of like fashion, we used to make fun of bell bottoms or certain type of wears that all of a sudden starts to come back now.
Oh yeah, man, everything goes in a circle.
Yeah, so music is coming back, man. So I'm excited to hear real music and not just random 8-bar loops, these music, real music. And you know what thing I hope that comes back?
What?
Long intros.
Okay, so yeah, I get that. Wait. World's longest intro.
Which
Papa
one?
was a Rolling Stone.
Dun, dun. Yeah. That thing, and yo, man, that was probably a long intro.
Do you know how many people messed up trying to get? It was the man. You went around again. How long? Just wait for
what?
Dang it!
See, you can never listen, man. That thing. I want long intros to come back.
Okay, I can definitely dig that.
It just not just long intros, but outros, when you could dance at the end, because these songs be ending so abruptly. Man, I'm just now getting into the groove, man.
Hold on, don't even start about the whole dance thing, man. Because to be honest, bro, they have all these TikTok dances and stuff like that now. But if you go to the clubs, nobody really be dancing like that.
See, okay, so you do security, so you see it firsthand.
Hey, get your back up off the wall, right?
Okay, yeah.
Hey, look, man,
they don't be moving.
Nah. Look, they rather do it for the gram. They rather do it for TikTok.
If a phone pointing at them, that's when they dance.
Oh yeah, man. I miss house parties. I miss block parties. I miss people just kind of just jamming and having a good time.
Listen, we need to bring it back.
You know what I mean?
We need to bring it back. And so, listen, now we just went off into the soapbox, but make sure y'all subscribe subscribe. Y'all follow our personal pages, the podcast pages. Listen, man, we are live in full effect, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yes, sir.
Oh man, it's dope. So last week we talked about turn-ons and turn-offs. I think that was a dope convo, yo. I think people like that.
Oh, I got asked a whole bunch of questions off of that.
You
so,
ready?
oh yeah, so it was quite interesting in that situation. Sparked a bunch of conversations.
Listen, I bet it did, and I know it ain't over. It ain't over. It's gonna come back. They're gonna be like, listen, y'all about them turning on and turning off. I see a lot of engagement. I see a lot of feedback. Keep it coming. If y'all have not caught on to that episode, go back, check out that episode. You're gonna enjoy this conversation we have about turn-ons and turn-offs, especially about the opposite sex. We provide I think we provide a very balanced perspective. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we could easily lean on one side and be like,
yeah, it could have been that whole side where we gonna get the tail end of somebody getting mad, be like, you only chose one side. Like, look, hey, we were even kill.
We try to be even kill. And so I can't wait to get into the new studio so we can start bringing in some guests. We a couple of, it may be season 7. I don't know. Right now, we're in season 6. We're almost there. I think people are enjoying our convos. Yeah. So we might keep that going. But we got guests. It's just gotta get the right studio.
Well, speaking of that, again, I want to shout out Wait to Wear. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
For coming through. This is another exclusive.
Check them out.
You know what I mean? It's something that y'all should definitely look into. Support black business.
I'm with that.
Support black fashion.
Support black business. Support black fashion. Like, for real. Quality product.
Yes,
quality
sir.
business.
If you really can't read it, it says the right amount of thick.
Uh-oh.
Look, that's gonna cause problems right there. Hey, look, this ain't got nothing to do. Look, hey, no Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Pause. Like right kind of thing, you be like,
pause.
Sorry. But yeah, nah, you know what I'm saying? It's all about fitness. It's all about, I like the Ron Perlman. Is it his name? Ronnie, the Mr. Olympia.
Oh, Ronnie Coleman.
Ron Coleman, not Perlman. Coleman, he kind of brought people back to the days of when it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, it was all them guys, man, them big old buff, like Mr. Olympia days, man, and I'm glad to see them getting their flowers, man. And so I brought that up because I said, this product, Wait to Wear, saying really highlights about that fitness life, man, and you want to look good in the gym or just look good walking down the street or look good going to the mall.
Exactly.
Like, Wait to Wear, man, come on. Like, you don't have to have a 6-pack like me to get it.
Hey, what I'm saying?
Joking. I said, you got a 6-pack like him, but I don't got it.
That's true. No, look, man, it's all right. Flex on them a little bit, bro.
I got a pack. I don't know if I got a 1-pack. I got a pack. Like,
hey, but you know what though?
You can still wear it though. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. Look, hey, everybody stays in their lanes.
I'm in my lane,
and it's all right though. But if it work for you, it work for you.
Quiet as kept.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come out on the scene on y'all once I get to this next chapter. I'm gonna get fit. I'm gonna be starting doing podcast shirtless. Nah,
my boy gonna be over here trying to pull his Denzel on.
Nah, I'm joking. I'm not gonna do shirtless. Nah, I got to keep it PG. Because my daughter will wring my neck.
Right, you're gonna be over here. I guarantee.
Gracie,
I guarantee the product.
Yeah,
go get you. I guarantee. Yes, sir.
But seriously, go check out waittowear.com. The information is there. Follow them on all their platforms. Support. And if you want to be one of our sponsors, hit us up.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna keep saying it. Listen, we growing, and you want to grow with us. This is the time to get it, because when we get to that next place, don't be coming, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? What he said, what Mike Jones says, back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot, you all on me.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, come on. If you want to be our sponsor, jump in on now and let's grow together. All right. Thank you again to waittowear.com for being our one of our sponsors and growing with us. We definitely support and endorse your product, man, and go up there and support. This episode, man, we gonna keep it light and a little serious, man. I want to talk about rejection, man.
Man, everybody goes through it, man.
Rejection, like people come to me and talk to me like, man, you got so much wisdom. You talk with so much, confidence and stuff like that. But it comes with honestly, with a lot of stories of rejection, man, I got a lot of. I got quite a few W's, but I got quite a few L's in the process.
Man. Hey, man, look, man.
I took a couple of L's.
Hey, but you know what? Failure is a part of the process, and a lot of times I think that we look at it in the wrong ways. You know,
we're gonna talk about that because I really want to get in to like how you don't allow rejection to destroy you.
Right.
All right. This episode, we talking about overcoming rejection. I can proudly say that I've overcome a lot of rejection. Especially, I would just bring it into most recent time. I talked to you about I left my job at the end of 2023.
Right.
And from January through maybe July, I applied to at least 200 jobs.
That's a lot of jobs, man.
No, listen, because I don't want to start bringing these other companies like Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, all of them. You fill out applications and they're like, they'll have one-click application. So you can literally one click and all your information is sent. So you can do that in one day. You can do like 50 in like an hour. And so like I've done a lot of, and one thing that I was challenging in that period before I had got my new job was getting that reply like, you were not chosen. They try to be nice about it. Say, we think you're great, but you just was not a good fit. And getting one or two of those are cool. Well, how about getting about 50? You know what I'm saying? That's challenging. And so I can talk. Let's talk. I don't want to get deep about relationships and so we'll get that in a little later. But I want to even talk about that. Even online, when you're filling out applications for those who may be listening, who may be looking for a job and discouraged, or saying like I'm thankful that I'm in a new space. Shout out to Pathway Church. But seriously, like there was a season I was looking for a job and I felt like I was qualified, and I got the letter that like I didn't make it. I didn't make the cut. That don't feel good.
No, but like so what really went through your mind with that situation?
Well, basically, it's like I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I am the solution to somebody's problem. And it may not be, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I finally got to a space where a headspace was like, listen, you know what? How big this world is. Cause I think sometimes when you're in it, you think it's so small, like, this is it. Like there are thousands, almost probably millions of opportunities out here.
Oh yeah.
And this little 100 or 200 jobs you're filling out, it's not the end of the world. You just got to keep on going. And then what I also did was talk to other people, and I didn't realize that I wasn't the only one going through that experience. There were some people that took 15 months of job searching to find the right job. And you know what I'm saying? And they went through HELL, you know what I'm saying, to get to it. So it's like, so my little 6 months of discomfort and stuff like that ain't nothing compared to someone who maybe still in it. But I just want to talk about that feeling of overcoming the rejection of, man, because there was a couple of jobs that I liked it. I really was like, I feel like, this is perfect for me. And you go in there and you have all your high hopes and you're positive and you're optimistic about it. You submit the application, you submit your resume, your cover letter, you have all this spot. Then a couple weeks later, they ghost you. It's almost,
yeah.
They ghost you. You don't hear nothing from them. Like, you're like, man, I thought I put my best foot forward, man, and I ain't, it's all ultra reflective of even the dating world. But anyways, let's just stick it to the job world.
Hey, now we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna definitely get to that.
But you put the application, your resume, this and that. You do the follow up. And you get ghosted. That rejection sucks. Like, it don't feel good. But again, you are the solution to somebody's problem or to a problem, and you just keep going, and you're gonna figure it's gonna happen. Like for me, I feel like where I am today, I feel like I am a solution to a problem. I feel confident about it, but I had to go through a valley. I had to go through some difficulty to realize, like, you know what? Yeah. All it takes is one. Yeah, it was 200 applications, but all it takes is one yes to change everything. So you may have to go through quite a few no's to get to that one yes.
But look at it like this: is yes, you are the solution to a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you ever look at when God closes a door for you, it's a hedge of protection.
Woo!
Because at the same time that we think that we're right for that situation, he may be like, man, there's something going on in there internally
that you have no clue
about, and you have no idea where it's going to take you in the negative sense. So he's like, I'm not going to let my warrior deal with that.
So you're saying that rejection can be protection?
Oh, yes.
Even though it don't feel good.
Well, the thing is, not everything that's protection actually feels good when it comes to that. Because you can sit there and say, hey, I've had a situation where I was supposed to go to a party.
Yeah.
And instead of me going to the party, I ended up falling asleep, and I kept fighting myself. And I was like, man, I'm finna go. And I think that was really God telling me to sit down for a little bit, because that party ended up getting shot up.
Ooh, that protection,
and I'm
man.
trying to tell you. And some
that
people got
real.
hit. So I was like, man, you know what?
I will tell you this, man. I worked for, a church here, a big church here in Dallas. And I really never, I think I talked about it a little bit, but I think I've been in the music industry / music ministry for 30 years. At the time, it was like 25 years or something like that. And I went there, man. I felt like I walked in the doors with 20 something years of experience. I felt like I was the man for the job. I felt like, yo, I'm going to come here and I'm about to throw down. Like, yeah. I'm about to go in here. I'm about to, man, I got in there, man. And things were just not clicking, bro. Like, it was just like, I was working with under someone, and his leadership style was not like, it was just not compatible, man. And they took me, like, they would demote me, but dress it up like a promotion. Like, yo, we're promoting you, but it's really a demotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the games, and I went through such a challenge, like an identity crisis.
Okay.
I went through an identity crisis where, like, yo, maybe I'm not as dope as I thought I was, because I'm here at this like premier organization, and I'm not a rock star. You know what I'm saying? Like, I suck. And I felt so dejected. I felt so low. I felt so out of place. And years later, I come with the revelation, and it brings me to an analogy, a sports analogy. My experience at that organization makes me feel like certain players in certain teams. Like, you'll see a particular player, maybe a first round draft pick or something like that, or go to a team and suck. Then they'll be traded to another team and just blossom. So sometimes it's not you, it's the system that you're in that is not a good fit. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, at the end of the day, they probably didn't prepare well for you in that situation. And sometimes they tried to impede your chance to lead. So
that's bars.
I'm trying to tell you. I got them all day. But when they're trying to impede your chance to lead, they have somebody who they think is a leader, even though that they may be flailing and not doing well. A lot of people don't want to eat crow. I'm not going to say football teams that are like that. And
Let's leave them out.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm like, hey, look, this is not a hatred. This is we're going to keep it respectful. So at the end of the day, it's like a lot of times, just because people want to pour into one leader and that may not be working, what they decide to do is they try not to eat crow or look bad in front of other people.
Facts.
So what they'll do is they'll continue to try to focus on that person, even though you are a better fit and you will actually be a benefit to them. But what they really want to do is they want to sit there and save face.
Save
face. Be like, oh, look, well, I didn't really believe in this guy yet, but I'm gonna give my other guy a chance. You didn't give him 15 chances. What are you doing?
Listen, some people are loyal to a fault, and I mean, a lot of organizations like that rejection from a working aspect. It's like I've experienced walking into organizations, and I am more qualified, but maybe I don't get along well with you know what I'm saying? Like some people who are in positions of power, like who may not necessarily be as qualified. Like, I'll be honest, like I felt like I walked into a lot of organizations and I was more qualified than my superiors.
Well,
and
that's what they mean by you're overqualified.
Yeah.
And that you may not fit there because you are already light years ahead of that position. So why would you apply for that position?
Man, it's crazy, man. And so it's like they're not some people in those positions of influence and power are not like mature or secure in their space enough. That's the thing I used to say is like, there's nothing like there's nothing dangerous than an insecure, leader. You know what I'm saying? And that's all different. Like who leads like in their through their insecurity. Like that right there. That's a whole nother pod. Like John Maxwell level type of pod. Like bringing an executive level type of guy to talk about it. But I have experienced people like, even though I maybe appear to be a threat, I never tried to come off like, I want your job. Like I was like, just
but
like
that's
if you
their
don't
fear. That's the initial fear.
They lead by the insecurity and fear. And it's like, and they do everything to hold you down so you don't appear to shine over there. Like it's weird like that. And even me, I'll flip that. When I'm in a position of leadership and I come across someone who's like my, somebody under me that may be better than me, like, at the end of the day, it's like, whatever, if they win, I win. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. If it's like, if they shine, I shine. Cause it's like, you as a leader were smart enough to give them the lane. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I love about certain coaches. I always bring sports, like knowing like, listen, they're not necessarily the best coach, but they just know how to give their best player, you know what I'm saying, the freedom to make the decisions. And at the end of the day, the coach still gets the glory from it because it's like, you made the right decision.
When you think about it, they didn't fail enough. So like, okay, I want y'all to look at like Bill Belichick or Nick Saban. Mm-hmm. Everybody sees them as the most winningest coaches, whether in the NFL or in the NCAA. Mm-hmm. Do you not think that they failed enough in a position to make them more wise in their choices and how they delegate situations? Because they don't always do everything themselves. Like you look, they gave Lane Kiffin a bomb job from working under Nick Saban. Yeah. But remember, Nick Saban had to work under who? Bill Belichick. Wow. So you have to look at the way that people build themselves up. And a lot of time it's through failure and it's through being able to make that L or that loss a lesson instead.
Ooh, he flipped it. That's redirection. Taking that L and redirecting it to a lesson. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? And so I say all that to say, like, personally, I've been in situations where, I didn't go into the most comfortable situation. And one thing I learned is like, some people, their tolerance is different. I have a very high tolerance. So it's like to get the New York side of me, like the New York Queens cuss you out, Amos, it takes a lot. And that rarely comes out. It's like almost like the Incredible Hulk. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but so
get gully.
Yeah, but but to get me to that level, it takes a lot. So I've stayed in situations. You talking about long suffering? I've taken hit after hit after hit, and they thought like these hits, because I think sometimes I was placed in situations by my superiors to get me to cuss him out or fight him so they can send me to HR and have me quit or get fired. And I just took it. And it was like, dang it, that didn't work. So let me demote him or let me put him on what is it? Or let him clean the toilet.
Like probation or
something like that. Yeah. Like do something that is so humiliating. And for me, it's different. Like I the way I was raised is like, like humiliation to me is I still walk with a certain honor. Just the way I was raised, like, I don't even want to bring the whole growing up in a Haitian household because you know how they talking about Haitians right now. Like, you know what?
Man, nothing.
Pause.
Nope, we're not going there. Okay. We're not going there today. No, we're not going there today because you know what?
Okay.
No, but you know what? I'm saying that. Speak on it.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about this Haitian thing. From a specific, particular presidential candidate that I will dare not name, is not worth naming on my podcast. But, I will say this. I grew up in New York in the days where people used to call us HBOs, Haitian body odor. You know what I'm saying? The Haitian booty scratcher. Like, we came up under a lot of crap. Like, talking about eating cats and dogs is nothing new, honestly. Because they used to tie that into like voodoo, like, oh yeah, Haitians, you do that dark voodoo stuff and you be eating cats and dogs. Like that's the original, like that's the stuff I came up in New York under. And so hearing this news about cats and dogs is totally familiar because it's coming up under that in the streets of New York is very common. But when it's used in this weaponized and it's used, you know what I'm saying, to like really, that's when it started hurting me. Like, yo, like that's not cool. Like that's not cool. Like I'm not trying to make this a political thing, but it's like I don't bang with people like that. Like especially
it's a level of disrespect.
It's a different disrespect, and I don't stand for it as a Haitian American. It is not cool. It's completely false. It's completely wrong. It's completely racist. It's completely degrading. And our people do not. We're already suffering already enough.
Yeah.
And my people do not deserve it. And listen, we need to show at the polls how we feel. That's all I'm going to say. Go if you're able and register to vote in November. Show them how you feel. That's my response.
And and that can't nobody do nothing but respect that. You know
Period.
what I mean? No matter
it's
how
like,
you feel.
We can go on social media and cuss people out and go off and no. That ain't gonna change. They still gonna be here sharing that rhetoric, making it a whatever. Hit them where it hurts. That's all I'm gonna say. However you interpret that, hit them where it hurts. And it's in November. And if you're registered to vote, show how you feel.
And hey, remember what I said about this podcast? It's all about respect. So at the end of the day, people, if y'all go into the comments saying stuff that's disrespectful to my dog right here, we're going to have some issues.
Listen, period.
And you're going to see from some respect. I'm about to say, so I'm about to check y'all.
Listen, I'm a New Yorker, so I know how to, so
at the end of the day, we keep everything respectful.
Yeah.
Regardless of what, political sides you rock, make sure that you respect each other.
Period. And that's all I'm saying. Is
you
like,
can agree to disagree for all I care.
I can care, but don't you come here with that mess. I don't play that.
We don't play that.
We don't play that. And so hit them where it hurts. And that happens in November inside of a polling place. Go in there and vote. Vote your judge. Vote your conscience. And so that's how my response. I've been mulling over it for a couple of weeks now. It's been bothering me. Every time I go on social media and I see people, even on TikTok, it's cute. People use the little sound bite. But it's stuff that really, it gets under my skin a little bit. But I'm used to it because, again, I grew up in New York when, again, we dealt with the HBOs, the Haitian booty scratchers, the Haitian body odor, all that stuff, man. It sucked. But our people, when we're resilient, the Haitian community is a very resilient people. We walk, even in the midst of being degraded, we still walk with our head up. And I commend our people, my people, and I stand with us. Listen, what they say in Haiti, l'union fait la force, okay? And that's basically the whole stand for what Haiti stands for. And so we are going to stand strong, okay? And let the haters hate. Hit them where it hurts.
Yes, sir.
All right, back to our regularly scheduled program.
There we go. There we go.
Rejection, it's difficult, but when you redirect, like learn to take rejection into redirection, take the loss into a lesson.
Yep.
I love that. That's my experience in the work field. Now let's talk about relationships, rejection in relationships. I'll say off the bat, I hate rejection. And I keep it 100. I keep it 100. For me, I'm an overthinker, and sometimes I hesitate approaching certain females because of the fear of rejection, dog.
I'm gonna tell you, at the end of the day, I used to be like that, and to be honest, one of the reasons why I got in shape was because of that.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It was way back in middle school.
Oh, shucks.
She called me chunky but cute. And I was like this. Oh, that kind of hurt my feelings. I got rejected, but you know
chunky
what?
Chunky but cute.
Chunky but cute. She's like, you cute, but you kind of chunky. And I was like, all right, bet. So the rejection gave me the energy to, I'm talking
That's
about,
so crazy.
hit the weight room. I was hitting it like a mad dog, and then all of a sudden came into high school, and I was, yoked up, and everybody like, man, what happened? I was like, man, look. Sometimes that failure hurt.
Yo, and it push you.
And rejection hurts. But at the end of the day, as I've gotten older, though, I look at is it more as like a protection thing, because sometimes when you get rejected by somebody that you think is attractive or whatever, there may be something in them that is not attractive to you if you try to go down that road and that path.
Listen. I think now at my age of 45, one thing I realized, one of my gifts is discernment. I used to run away from it.
Same.
Like I used to run away from it. Like I used to be like, I sense something about someone and I'd be like, nah, that's just paranoia. I'm paranoid. Nah, bruh. Now I yield to it. Now I get that feeling about somebody, a female I approach, and it's like, I just yield to it. I don't question it because I always end up being right, bruh.
Have you ever prayed for rejection?
No, I never done that. Like how? Explain that.
Okay, so I've had some conversations with some people, and I'm like, "This, go ahead and reject me." You know why? Because I'm gonna show you.
Woo! Okay. I like it. I like that.
Show you
I like
who
that.
I am.
That's dope.
And then after you rejected me, you're gonna look back and like, man, I should have took that chance. But once that rejection hits and that heals, it's like this. I'm a whole different creature.
Yo,
I'm trying
I'll be
to tell
honest.
you.
That's what fuels me today. Like I was in a relationship and it just didn't end the way I hoped it was. You know why? And I talk about, nothing against the girl I was dating. She's dope. But I could just tell the signs. Like there was just I discern like, okay, there's a pulling away. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start feeling like, like there's a pulling away and whatever she was maybe going through, but I felt the pulling away. And it, to me, I don't say that I consider a rejection, but it falls even to my abandonment issues. Like my mom passing away at 19, I deal with that. Like I confronted that, like that abandonment issue is real. You know what I'm saying? Losing my mom at 19 and I'm 45. So that's something I had to carry and deal with. Now that I'm in the single world, I have confronted that abandonment issue. So I don't make the mistake of making decisions under that abandonment, you know what I'm saying? And so, but when it's triggered, when I start feeling people pulling away, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I started interpreting, oh, that's rejection and stuff like that. But you know what I do now? I start thinking, it's just weird, but I start thinking like in the person's shoes, like something they may be going through. Like, my ex might have gone through something, or maybe something I did may have triggered her to kind of pull back or something, you know what I'm saying? And so it causes me to not take it too personal. Like I learned, it's like, yo, to each his own. Like if it ain't working, it ain't working. But before I used to kind of think it, and like I used to take every sign of rejection personal, dog. Like I would carry like, oh, that girl dissed me, or that job didn't hire me, or that person said no, and it's like, bruh, people got their own reasons. Don't care. Don't like. That's part of that book that I read. It's not. But
the thing is, remember, you like when people get like that, you got to remember you miss all the shots you don't shoot.
Good.
So
God
even if you like somebody and you shoot your shot and they reject you, that's not the end of the world, because that person may not be for you in that situation.
And that's the revelation. It's like,
oh yeah,
once you realize the world is bigger than the little box that you place in when you're in your feelings. Because sometimes when you're feelings, you feel like you get boxed in, like, yo, my world sucks. And I just remember the book I was reading, The 4 Agreements, and then one of the main agreements is don't take it personal. Don't take things personal.
Say that again.
One of the 4 agreements is don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Like and sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard, but like with the right work, like when you start doing the inner work, I started realizing like, yo, everybody got a reason, man. Like all of the rejections I've gone through, like in my healing process, I've processed it. Like, you know what? That person may have their own insecurities and their own things that they're triggered by that is causing to do certain or make certain decisions. So don't take it personal. They're in their own world. Move on. Like, and for me, it's like again, I'm back to that whole I love me thing again.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But I had to get to that revelation, like, love yourself. Like, if you love yourself, you will start learning that when people reject you, that's their loss.
Well, let me expound on that a little bit. And like me as a person, I love people. Even though sometimes people get on my nerves.
Facts.
But I love people from a genuine space. That's how I was raised. That's how my family is. We love people. But at the same time, I feel the same failure when I can't save somebody. But I had to also learn I can't save everybody.
That's good.
And I can't save you from yourself.
Wow.
And that's the hardest things in the world. Like some of the things that I've been through in my life, and I called some of my biggest failures, was not being able to save people I care about from themselves. Wow. But I had to learn for myself that that's not my job.
It is not your job.
And it's not truly a failure in that situation if you've given everything that you can, whether it's friendship, whether it's relationship, whether it's a business. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like, you have to make those failures so that you can see and learn from them, so you don't make the same mistakes again. That's how that's God's way of allowing you to learn a lesson that may be harsher than we really want.
I hate to. I don't want to say this is. I might get a little deep on this.
Go ahead.
It's in correlation to what you're saying, but I felt led to share this as part of the reason why. I filed for divorce. Mm-hmm. I honestly did not want a divorce. Like, I grew up in a 2-parent household. My ex grew up in a 2-parent household. We want Gracie, our daughter, to grow in a 2-parent household. But you know what led me to pull the trigger? Because it's like you seeing somebody like going down a road that, you know what I'm saying, and you want to save them so bad.
Yeah.
But when you go save them, you're hurting yourself. You're putting yourself in deeper danger. And sometimes I've seen, and many times in my life, where I have, for example, when they say put the oxygen mask on first before you go, I would constantly put the oxygen mask on others and like be suffocating myself to near death. And that's was that you love somebody so much you don't want to see them hurting, failing, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying. And at the point, like, when you're trying to save them, you're literally setting yourself up for failure and near death, you know what I'm saying. And so for me, what led me after wise counsel, after prayer, you know what I'm saying, like, it's like, Amos, if you keep trying to save this, you're gonna die. Well, like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you have good intentions to keep it going, but it's literally gonna kill you.
But at the end of the day, when you're raised, and fellas, I'm speaking to y'all, and this is just our section of it. When you're raised to protect the ones you love, and you're raised to try to fix every single problem. That's why guys are fixers. We want to fix everything. Sometimes you got to sit back and just listen and try to figure out if this person's just trying to vent to you about something, or do they really need that advice. And that's the hardest thing about it, because like in your situation, you could try to sit there and ask over and over again, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? And they don't want no advice.
No, but the problem was not even, I couldn't ask what I help. And there was a point where she was looking at me as the problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? When in my heart, I'm like, I'm trying to be the solution, but in her, whatever she was going through, I was looking at her. So it's like, it was kind of like two adverse things happening. No matter what I did, it was always having an adverse effect.
But as a man, bro, you're taught to do that.
Yeah.
You're taught to, forgive me for saying this at the same time. It's, as men, we're taught to give all and choose we over me. And do whatever you have to do to try to make sure the family still functions and your girl still functions.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it costs you. And you have to sometimes numb it, and you have to kind of just deal with that pain regardless of the situation, because you want to see everybody else smile.
Yeah.
And you want to see everybody else make it. And it's hard when you feel like no matter what you've done, you're failing. And that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest
thing. It's a hard thing for men to absorb.
Yeah, because we want to be successful.
You want to be successful, and as fixers, you want to, like, it's like you spend you got all these tools, and you're fixing something, and it's still broke. Like, that's not a good feeling. And so for me, even with my former marriage, I can talk about it because, you know, I've done the healing work. It was like I felt like I had the tools to help fix it, but there was nothing I can do. One of the greatest pieces of advice I got from a good friend, I won't say the person's name. He gave me the analogy of a game. It was like you seeing the person you love play a game, right? And they are completely, they're it ain't working. They're failing, and you got the skills to sub in for them.
Yeah.
And you want to sub in for them and take their load from them, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the friend said, sometimes you got to leave them in the game, bro. Like, that's not your game to play. It's not you know what I'm saying? Even though you got what it takes to help them win the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let them go and fight their own fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it is not your fight. No matter how much you are gifted and, or, you know, equipped to handle it, some people have to go through their fight, their own journey. And it's like, dang, yo. But that's the reality. Like, I have to go through my own journey. Nobody, you can't come in and, you know what I'm saying, and work and walk my journey for me. I have to, you know what I'm saying, walk my journey. And so what led me to realize is like, I can't sub in for her anymore. Like, I tried, but at the end of the day, it's like, this ain't my game to play, or I'm not even in that league.
Well, that's why I said from the get-go was, it feels like the biggest failure when you're not able to save the ones you love, but at the same time, you cannot save them from themselves.
That part.
Because at that point in time, they're fighting themselves and now they're fighting you because you're just trying to help. But what it looks like is you're an outside opponent trying to take over something that they can't deal with.
Listen.
So guess what? Let them game on. And guess what happens after that? When they finally get to that point where they can't run anymore and they can't fight it anymore, they have to sit in it. They have to heal just like you had to heal. Mm-hmm. And that's not a pleasant situation.
Listen, you know, one thing that why I chose to file for divorce, and again, it was amicable, but it was my mental health. Like, when someone is doing stuff that is literally destroying your mental health and they are not doing anything to help, like, if I'm telling you what you do is hurting me and you still continue to do it and care about that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when we see stories about people who snap, like, you know, like people in households, they snap and they just everything. Like, I had moments like that, and that's for me what made me decide to let go, and I won't say fail, but like kind of decide to live.
Right,
you know
right.
You know, but initially I looked at it as failure. I looked at it as reject. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, but at the end of the day, when I redirected and reframed the way I thought, because again, it comes up with the way you were raised, you know, dealing with abandonment issues, all that stuff. But when you start doing the inner work and realizing like how you look at it is not necessarily sometimes the right way. Like, you think it's a rejection, but it's actually a redirection. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people aren't even cognizant that they're doing stuff to a person that hurts them.
That's true.
And that's one thing, and that's their failure, not yours.
That part. And
you
so
know what I mean?
but again, when you finally choose love yourself as you love God with all your heart and all your mind and soul, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Like, that key part for me, I had to learn and really work at loving myself, because I would love my neighbor. I would love God. I would be like, look, God, I love you. And I would love my neighbor. I'll be like, bro, I love you, bro. Same. And never would look in the mirror and say, Amos, I love you. Like, that was a simple thing. But once I realized that I don't do that enough, and when I started doing that, things started shifting for me. Like, I started seeing things like, yo, I ain't subjecting myself to that disrespect.
Yeah, but you figured out real quick that once that person subtracted themselves from the we, mm-hmm. it was only me. And at that point in time, you have to redirect that energy and learn how to re-love yourself and figure out what you're willing to tolerate now comparatively to what you tolerated last time. It's the same thing with any type of failure, whether it's work or not. Mm-hmm. I'm the type of person, I don't tolerate disrespect. Period. Regardless, especially if I tell you ways to respect me.
But if you're not loving yourself or choosing yourself, or
you're not respecting yourself,
you're not respecting yourself, or not putting your oxygen mask on first, you will look at that as you like, I'm not doing enough, or it's my fault, you know, or you fall into that people pleasing thing, like you're overdoing it, like, oh my gosh, maybe I need to do this more. And that's I would admit I fell into that, where I did the people pleasing to like the 1,000,000th degree, and at the same time that people pleasing led me into a lot of deep resentment towards that person. Like, yo, I'm doing this because I love you, but you're not loving me back.
It makes you almost feel like you're not enough.
So you were looking at it as a rejection, and at the end of the time, like, that person, whatever they going through, they ain't thinking about it the same way you think. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look at it. They've been told you. sorry, the country came out of me, but at the same time, they've been told you that they were already rejecting themselves. So why are you trying to have them sit there and accept you. They can't accept
they ain't
anything if they don't even accept themselves. That is not a failure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what you're failing is yourself.
Yep.
Because at that point in time, you're not even looking inside yourself and being like, you know what? This person already trying to get away from me, or this job already telling me that they don't want me, and I'm over here trying to fight to stay in something that is not even a failure at that person at that time.
You know, I remember I go back to high school. You know, I was dating a girl in high school, man, and yo, she was the it girl, and so it was like, you know, in high school, all right. So I grew up very sheltered. In New York, my parents, even though I was exposed to like taking the city bus and stuff, I was still kind of sheltered, you know? Mm-hmm. And so when I moved to Florida and went to high school, public high school, when I was in private school for elementary and middle, and high school, I went to public school, and, you know, I started dating this girl. Like, I thought, man, like, yo, I made it. Like, you know, and this girl was carrying the dog crap out of me, bro. Like, I was 15, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was 15. I was a virgin. I ain't never really kissed a girl. I was really wet behind the ears, dog.
Yeah.
And so,
my boy said he was wet behind the ears.
Wet behind the ears.
Green, boy, green.
And I say all that. It's like sometimes people will show you like, yo, I really ain't feeling you, but I'm just gonna entertain you a little bit, and you still accept it. And it's like, dude, you walked into a minefield. You walked into the field of rejection. Like, so the thing is that it's not them, it's you. Right. Like, I realized for me, when I started looking at myself, it was like, yo, a lot of the rejections that supposed rejections that I dealt with was honestly me. Like, I saw, like, the people ain't changed. It's not like all of a sudden they like, oh man, they started great. No, them people showed you walking in the door that they didn't want to, it wasn't feeling you.
You failed to observe your surroundings.
You didn't read the room right, because but
around you.
But if you're not doing that or taking the time to do the inner work, and as you do the inner work, there's inner healing. Inner healing also helps you like shift you the way you look at things, your lens. If you're not taking time to like wipe your lens,
yeah,
you're still gonna look at things very cloudy, very, you know what I'm saying, distorted. And when I started doing more inner work and inner healing work, I started seeing things different. Like, yo, that's who they were all along. But I was looking at it from a whole, you know what I'm saying, from my lens, thinking like, yo, maybe I need to convince them, you know, yeah. Or, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, yo, you get to a point like, let people show you who they are, man. Accept them for who they are. Like don't see the potential, or don't be the fixer up, or like, yo, maybe if I love her, maybe she'll fall in love with me. Negro.
But at that point in time, you stop loving yourself to try to love somebody
you sacrifice your loving yourself. Yeah. And so that rejection, it all like.
But that's the young you trying to fit in, man.
Yeah.
That's like, you trying to fit into a narrative that don't even have your name on it.
Listen, rejection, man. Once you find a healthy way to view rejection, realizing that it's redirection. Sometimes it takes time for reflection.
Right.
Yeah. And then you can experience a resurrection. See, I'm preaching right there. I said,
my boy over here preaching. He talking about I got bars. He got bars. Look at that.
Rejection, man. Seriously, you take time to redirect. You know what I'm saying? Reflect, and you experience a resurrection. Like for me, I feel like now, even though like in my teenager, I said I was wet behind the ears. Like my boys, I hung out with a lot of homeboys in high school, and you know back then that's before social media. Back then, you literally had to go in the mall and get numbers, or you had to walk around the hallways, talk to girls, and get their numbers. That's how you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now you can't hide behind.
Now
that.
you gotta get the IG.
Yeah,
like, what's your IG?
I'm gonna drop a DM. Okay, So quick question.
What?
That makes absolutely no sense if you really think about it.
What?
Well, you know, I'm not gonna give you my number, but I'm gonna give you my IG. You literally giving them the same thing just because I can block. I can block you from a call or a text message, but you're gonna ask for IG, but give somebody that makes no sense. Like, really make sense of it. It makes no sense. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Hey man, I got her IG. Dude, you might as well have just got her number because you still talking to her.
That point, I mean, it's literally the same thing.
Sorry, guys, I went on that makes no sense to me.
But back in the days, you had to get the numbers. At the time, it was seven. It was
the original DMs.
Yeah, the original.
Right? No, the original DMs. Write a note.
Right, you know, yo,
pass that note all the way across the class.
You had to walk around with a pen on your ear,
exactly.
With a pad, like back in the days, and so, you know, my boys, yo, I struggled with approaching females, dog. Like in my teenage years, like, and sometimes like, and I can deal with it now because I'm grown, but it's like back then it was like, yo, and that kind of plagued me through my adult years, like not like, because it was that fear of rejection or just how I viewed myself. Now, like I had to deal with that inner child, man. I confronted that inner child, disempowered it all. That's some therapy talk right there. But like, that fear of rejection plagued me in my young adult years, and how I walked into job interviews, how I approach women, how I approach conversations, how I approach relations, like all of that, man. Like how you deal with that fear of rejection affects your decision making all across the border. So doing that inner work, I keep bringing back to the whole thing, redirection, that reflection, and that resurrection. You know what I'm saying? For me now, like there's a confidence, and also I struggled with cockiness and confidence. Like I thought, like if I'm confident, I don't want to come off as cocky.
Yeah, I've had that same problem, man. I really have in my life. Like I've never wanted to come off cocky.
Yeah,
I'd rather come off confident, but then at the same time, I didn't know how to kind of walk that line. But at this point in time, I don't really care.
You can't control how people view you. Like at the end of the day, like you can't control how people perceive it. Like people can come up to me.
So why would I care?
At the end of the day, like you are who you are to your core. I am Amos St. John to who I am to the core. And however you receive me, that's how you receive me based on what lens that you're looking from. For me, I'm always going to present myself as authentic as I am. You can look as my authenticity. Maybe you be like, well, that's fake. Oh, that's that's whatever. For me, I know I'm authentic. The real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so that's all that matters. And so once you start doing the inner work and start looking at yourself, realizing what the root of it all is, you'll look at rejection as, like I said, all the rejection from the jobs to relationships, all that stuff, man, I looked at it, that was redirection, that was protection. Like I look at the situations back and I was like, yo, I dodged a bullet, dog.
I told you, had your protection.
Listen, y'all, this is real. Like, really, this whole pod episode is about dealing with like the root. Like, yo, you got to overcome the rejection, y'all. The world is not coming to an end in your life. I really want to encourage you. I know you may be feeling low. I know you may dealing with some low confidence, some low self-esteem. Well, this pod episode, we're here to encourage you. You're not by yourself. We have all gone through this at some point of our walk in life.
It's going to play this. Life is a journey. Enjoy it. Stop trying to think that every pit stop is the end of it.
Nope.
Till the casket drop, you're still here.
Let's go.
You still have a chance to make anything that you want happen. And just because a door closes, somebody rejects you, somebody makes you feel some type of way about whatever, does not mean that you stop pushing to find somebody or find a job or find a situation that works for you. It doesn't matter what everybody else got to say, because you your own main character in your own narrative and in your own story. They are not. No matter if you're married or not, they are not your main character. You are still the main character in your story. You
got one life to live, buddy. And I want to encourage that person who's in a low place that may come across this. And I just want to let you know that, listen, man, you are not here by yourself. You have people here that can pray with you, can stand with you, can encourage you. Listen, you have support. All you got to do is reach out. Like I'm thankful that I have my surrounding village around me. It may not be as big as it was when I was in the DMV, but like my village here is so dope. Like people came and pulled me from a low place and speak life. Like my buddy here, my brother here, like he done talked me off a few cliffs and not figuratively, but you know what I'm saying? Like, not literally, but figuratively. But like I've been in low places. We all been in low places, and understanding like, yo, this is like that rejection, or that what appears to be rejection may just be the very thing you need. Like, I'm so glad I didn't get accepted to certain jobs, because I knew I'd probably be miserable today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wouldn't be a pathway. I wouldn't be where I'm at today, because those wasn't for me. Where I like when the Christian saying, what God has for me is for me. And once I realized, even in dating, if that girl that you pull spitting game with, or that dude that females, that dude that you really like, that you feel like is your man, like if he's rejecting you, God has better. Love yourself.
Yep, just take the time to actually put work into yourself. Yeah. And
I guarantee that God is going to send you the right person in due time. But in the meantime, love yourself. If that person ain't giving you the time of day, you getting ghosted, you getting left on red.
Yep.
Just keep going, y'all. Don't quit.
No matter how triggering it is.
No. Listen, man, we can have a whole nother pod on that. But like, redirect, reflect, resurrect your confidence.
Yes, sir.
Be confident. Come on. You better, you know what I'm saying? You a queen, you a king. You belong, you know what I'm saying? We serve the King of Kings, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're God's child. You belong to, you know what I'm saying? You're the heir to the kingdom of God. So just be encouraged, y'all. Like, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are seen, you are heard. Love yourself, love your neighbor, love God. All in one, not in whatever order. Love God, love yourself, love your neighbor. All that. And I guarantee you'll start seeing things differently. Heal those inner things in your life that you have been hiding and running away from, and love yourself and heal from it. And I guarantee that you'll start seeing things differently. It was meant to protect you. It was not meant to hurt you or destroy you.
Yes, sir.
This was good, man. This was good. We hope that this pod, it's coming. It was a little serious, but we talked about some good stuff. Leave some comments. Let us know how you feel. Again, I keep saying it. We are gonna go live. My schedule's kind of crazy, but we just gotta go live.
We're gonna just wait. We're gonna go live. We're just gonna let his schedule kind of even out, just like mine. Cause I know I done caught myself yawning a couple times today, man. I've been at it since 6 o'clock this morning. We are really gonna get this live popping. Even if I have to start pubbing it when I do my walk, I'm gonna start tagging him in there, and we'll do it in the morning.
Listen, we got to get it going because we want to interact with our listeners and our supporters and people who watch us. We want to hear from you live and want to hear what you say and what you're going through. But again, you are loved, you are seen, you are appreciated. You're not in this world alone. You're not in this walking journey alone. God is with you. You have family with you. You have friends. Even when you feel alone, God is with you. Please be encouraged. Look at the rejection as protection, as redirection, and take time to reflect, and you'll experience a resurrection in your self-esteem, your confidence, because God has created you to be more than a conqueror. Right now, you're in survival mode.
Yes, sir.
But do the work so you can get out of survival mode so you can conquer. This season shall pass. This low season where you're not getting the answers from the job, that person's not responding, they left you on read, and or they did ghosting you, whatever. How you feel icky, you feel whatever weird. It is just a season. This too shall pass. You're gonna resurrect from this. And you're going to have an opportunity to help someone else that's going through a season that you've endured. And so we appreciate y'all for tuning in this episode, man. This is dope. This is good.
Man, Plagues, I really enjoyed this. And I appreciate everybody who has came through, watched, left comments, shared, everything.
Yeah, this is dope. This is real. And so, again, health is wealth. Mind, body, soul, like health, all aspects. And we pray that this episode has helped. It's going to help you, encourage you, let you know that you ain't going through this alone. We go through our struggles, and so like you're not in this fight alone. This is battle wounds. We are soldiers in this army of the Lord. I'm getting so churchy, but seriously, like that's what battle wounds is for. Like we all experience hurts and wounds. But this pod is to give you a platform and a space to put it out there and heal, so we can heal from it. Because like you can't heal for stuff that you don't reveal.
Right, you're right. Right,
you can't heal from it if you can't reveal it.
Hey, look, a scratch, a cut does not heal till it hits the air. And
that part
hits the air and it starts to scab up and slowly start to heal.
You gotta,
gotta let it heal sometimes.
Gotta let it heal sometimes.
And look, there's therapy out there. If y'all need help with therapy, again, BetterHelp is a good way to go about it. Yeah. You can also look into the resources that your job does have, because a lot of them now have psychological, help if you need it. It's part of your package that you get when you get benefits.
Yeah.
Look into it. Do not hesitate, because life continues on even after rejection and even after failure. And if you're having problems getting out of that ditch, that valley, that dark place, do not be silent. Open your mouth and say something.
Please Please, we here for you. And so we hope this episode really has helped you. Like I said, I'm all about being authentic and real. And, I shared some interesting thing. And, again, I'm not turning this pod into a political pod, but, saying November's coming up, make sure you register to vote. In all my Haitian community family, let's stand together and not tolerate the disrespect anymore. Go represent in the polls in November. Go there. Okay? Thank you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, like I said, you say your piece, and everybody be respectful.
Listen, because I ain't with the mess. But yeah, y'all. Thank you so much. This is dope. This is dope. We're gonna be back next week with another episode of Battle Wounds Podcast. I'm your host, Amos St. John.
It's your boy Tank.
Remember, health is wealth. Until next time, peace.
Y'all be blessed.